I think it's the first session for a lot of us here today, so welcome to the Arab Media Summit. Super excited to be here with my good friend Sian Garnier. My name is Bassel Anabtawi. I lead MENA operations at TikTok. And today, we thought we'd start the session, early in the morning, talking about sports and athletics on content. But to give you a bit of a quick background, at TikTok we look at content we look at the authenticity of content. We look at how content is built in our creator ecosystem. And we also look at authenticity when it comes to content. And one of the people that we thought when we were approached to do this panel was to kind of pair myself with my good friend Sian here to talk about how to kind of build great content on the platform. So without further ado, I want to introduce my friend Sian Garnier here, one of our biggest sports athletic creators on the platform. So yeah, let's hear a hand for Mr. Sian Garnier.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I hope you are good. Good morning.
Awesome. Sian, I think just to kind of put context for everyone here, let's talk a little bit about, you are known as one of the greatest freestylers, I would say, in the world. And above that, we also look at you as one of the best and most consistent content creators on TikTok. I want you to kind of give us a little bit of a background about yourself and how you started in this world of freestyle and how you kind of took that and became this incredible content creator.
So basically, as a lot of kids in the world, my dream was to be a professional football player. I start with football. I play in a club. I attend the training, and I was lucky to reach a certain level in a pro club in France. But unfortunately, I didn't make it. And a couple of years after, I start to, let's say, express myself with the ball, but a different way. And I see the reaction of the kids was amazing. So I start to understand, like, I can talk with the ball, but in a different way. I don't have to play on this green rectangle. I can go outside, go in the street, go in the public place and express myself. And I understand I can connect with people. And at that time I say, okay, my dream was not to be a professional football player. My dream was to connect with people. So for the first 5 to 10 years in freestyle, I started to travel the world, win competition. Then after, when social media came up and like TikTok, I understand I can connect with more people. So actually I was trying to understand the code and the hack to actually touch more audiences, touch more people all around the world. No need more specifically to speak, but maybe just showcase my talent. And I was super lucky to do that.
That's amazing. And you say unfortunately, but I think we say fortunately, because you became one of the most proficient content creators on the platform. We look at the content ecosystem at TikTok, and we see that sports on TikTok is one of the fastest growing verticals on the platform. We launched the hashtag sports on TikTok about a year ago, and we saw a growth of over 350% in posting and publishing under that hashtag itself. And we saw a lot of creators such as yourself kind of coming out to put content out there and so on. And I think one thing we see with creators is for them to succeed on the platform, we see that they got to put out quality content. They got to put out content that's consistent, and we also see success metrics when it comes to consistent themes in creating. So I want to ask you, Sian, how is it for you to create content? What approach do you take to create content, and how do you see the success metrics around that creation?
One thing you said at the beginning, it's really key for me, is authenticity. And basically, by doing sports, it's allowed me to be authentic by itself. Because, sport, you can find that everywhere. There is people play football, basketball. So it's already in the mindset of everybody to consume sport content. So for me, it's not really to create content and to be authentic, is to be the content. So basically, my strategy is not actually to think about what's my next video, is actually to take this moment, record it, and afterward, how to show myself and create the most authentic moment for the audience. And just make the content as it should be nowadays. Like, let's say there is a trend, or there is a theme at the moment. So use that worldwide theme and to adapt to what I'm saying now.
Interesting. You talked about trends, and we see trends as a key metric on TikTok. So we always say it starts on TikTok. And because we see so many things being authentically born on the platform. And when you mention trends, how much of that kind of determines what you want to create as a content creator, as opposed to you creating something from scratch? Or is it a balance between both?
I think it's a balance, and also you have to sometimes you have to create the trend, and sometimes you have to follow the trend. If everybody go one direction, there is a reason why, and the fact to follow the trend will allow you to understand maybe why that content is trendy, and it will give you a guideline for the next one. So I will say it's a balance. You have to showcase who you are. You don't have to also follow the trend, but also it's really important to, if you want to think long term, is to understand why people follow this trend or why they like this type of content. And for me, I like to do both, and I like sometimes to lead the train, and sometimes I like to follow.
Well, you definitely create trends. I mean, if anybody follows Sian's content, it's definitely authentic and absolutely entertaining. So is entertainment, are you mixing the element of entertainment with sports? And is that a conscious decision that you do to mix both worlds together?
For me, sport is entertainment. You know, at the end of the day, we all have create joy when we play. Even though you play the Champions League, it still start with entertainment. People are around the stadium to watch a show. So for me, it's just not what you do, but how you do it. Just the platform change. Maybe you play football and it's look like really serious. But when you are in your room and you create content, it should be as serious, because so many people can be inspired by yourself. So you should think about what deep connection you can create with them, what type of message you can give them, and also what value you can give them. For me, it's a bit of everything.
Absolutely. Sian, today you are, you reach millions of people on the platform. And I think that is absolutely incredible. We see the followership, we see the engagement. But, obviously you started from zero, right? Like you just like many people, you signed up to the platform and you said, all right, I'm going to start creating content. But obviously, I don't know if you expected to reach this big on the platform, but I think the first question for me is, what kind of challenges have you faced as a content creator? Because a lot of people think that this is an easy kind of way, but it really isn't, right? Like it takes perseverance, it takes consistency, it takes failure and standing up again and defining trends and all of these type of things. How was this journey for you in terms of becoming a content creator and becoming a very successful one at that?
I think the thing is never the road is never finished. It's like actually you always have to renew yourself. And maybe 1 year you're gonna have a really successful content creation, and the next year it's not really successful. But you have to think long term, and you have to picture yourself in 10 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's gonna help you to actually not really judge what you do, because at the end of the day, nobody will remember the video you post yesterday or 2 days ago. They will remember like maybe 1 year or 2 years of work. And actually ask the question, do you remember what you consumed yesterday or 2 days ago or 3 days ago? You don't know, you don't remember. So that's what I want to picture. It's actually your image will appear in the mind of people for a long period. So you don't have to really judge yourself. You just have to do what you love and try to share and connect as much as possible.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the authenticity point, right? And being your authentic self on TikTok definitely pays off for sure. Look, we work a lot with a lot of sports entities, such as, for example, the UAE Pro League, the Saudi Pro League, and many of these leagues and so on. And so we see so much engagement on the platform when it comes to these leagues and sports brands and so on. Have you, I think this is probably an easy one for you because I already see you wearing a Red Bull hat, but have you worked with brands before? And what type of experience have you had working with brands and sports entities as a content creator? And what kind of advice can you give these brands and sports entities?
I think it's going 360. So basically, as a content creator, I'm used to create light content, let's say, something really authentic, and people can consume it in a really light way. But also, people who watch sports now, they consume sport in a different way. If you talk about football, they don't gonna watch maybe 90 minutes of game, but they're gonna watch the highlight, or if there is a goal and they see that on a different platform, they will go on TikTok and maybe search for that goal. So it's also good to mix with brand and entity, because the brand, they can understand the light way to create content and be more deep and connect with the core audience. But at the same time, as a creator, sometimes you want to step up and not always create like phone content, I will call it like that, doing something super simple. You want also to create more bigger project. So to understand the perspective of those league and those brands, we allowed you to picture yourself on new challenges. And happened to me, you know, when I create like maybe commercials and different work, I can also like put myself in a different role, not only like the actor, but maybe an artistic director or someone who can advise a brand. So it gives me a 360 perspective in the development of my career.
I mean, it's incredible because I saw you, especially at various events and so on, and there's always a camera person with you most of the time, kind of to capture that content as it happens and as it folds. And what's incredible about Siyan's content is that not only do you see it on social or on TikTok itself, but also you see it being performed live, and all the people around him kind of gathered around to see what he's done. I remember one time I was walking with him to an event in Dubai Mall, and all these people started coming up to him, taking selfies and stuff like that, which was actually really incredible to see how you can go from being on TikTok to how that translates to the real world.
Yeah, and it's funny about that day. I have a cool story to say. That day at Dubai Mall, actually 3 hours before the show, I was not wearing the cap, not even like bread and stuff like that. I was with my family and nobody recognized me. Okay, and 3 hours after, you know, I make myself ready, take my ball, take my cameraman, take a security, and I was walking exactly at the same place. And actually, everybody started to want to create the picture. And what I did it like that is to create that character. So also, what I wanted to say is like on social media, it's really cool because you can create your own character. You can also not be yourself if you want. You can create that different you, and it's helped me a lot to actually perform in that year, because now it's like what 15, 17 years I'm in this industry, like performing and creating content, and the fact to create like a different persona help myself as well. And I think it can be a good help for social media creator and TikTok creator to actually like be a bit different as well, because we talk about authenticity, but you can also take risk and be someone else and see how people content.
Well, it's also self-expression. I mean, this is how you chose TikTok to express yourself in that sense. And I think TikTok gives people the platform or the opportunity to express themselves in ways that that is true to them. And I think it's authentic to you. And obviously, you've been doing this for 15 years, so this is absolutely who you are. And so with that, I really do appreciate all the effort you put on building. And I think also we could see the impact that you have on the ecosystem at large. And we see people interacting with your content. If there's any sort of advice you would give up-and-coming creators today who are starting from zero, if they would want to start on TikTok today, what would you tell them to do?
First of all, be yourself and be cool with the fact to record yourself, because so many people, I will say it like that, they are maybe insecure to record and how they're going to look on camera and stuff like that. But actually, it's the world we are today. Everything is on video, everything is on content. How many cameras we have like today? So it's like you have to be really cool with the fact to be record. And after that, build the process to create content. So basically, analyze your content, see how it performs, ask advice around you, try to copy trend, try to do your own style, and by the time you will actually, it's going to be super easy. It become like something super fast for me to create a content from A to Z, because it's natural. So just do it over and over. You know, I used to post maybe 2 to 5 content a day for maybe 5 years in a row. So that's how I actually, I don't care about like this video will make 5 million and this video will be 5,000. I don't really care about the number. It's just like the process to create it, get the feedback for the audience. Oh, actually they like that. So I can maybe change my direction and go from this way. And yeah, I just, the best advice is just create content and understand the feedback.
Right, I completely agree. And I think one thing about TikTok I would say is follower count isn't everything. And I think, you know, this is one of the unique aspects about TikTok, is that you could start today at 0 followers and you could still have a hit, because most people who consume content on TikTok consume it on your FYP page or the For You page. And so there are many elements that go into creating that piece of content. whether it's hitting the right themes or it's hitting the right, you know, the right themes, the right consistency, the right quality, the right length, all of these things, and how people start engaging with it makes it appear on the FYP. And when that happens, you start doing more of this content, and you kind of follow in that format and that formula, then you're going to start seeing that growth. And I think that couples very well with what you're saying. Keep releasing, keep creating, keep expressing yourself, and then that will hopefully start helping you build a massive following like we have with Sian Garnier. We have 2 minutes left, so if there's anything you would like to say.
Yeah, based on this topic, also there is the reverse. Maybe you're going to post your first video, it's going to hit 100,000 views, and after you feel pressure because you think maybe the next video will hit 1,000. But it's okay, because you need to think long term. You know, you don't need to think like now. Nobody will remember in 6 months' time these 100,000 videos. You know, it's like you have to keep going, and don't judge about the number, judge about consistency. That's the most important.
I love it. Everybody says consistency, and I think if there's anything you'd see from all the creators that you talk to, I think the one thing they have in common is consistency, consistency, consistency. I think that's the best advice you can give anyone. Sian, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today. And thank you so much for coming today. And, you know, we started with like 3 people, and now it's like a full house. So that's fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you guys have a question, don't hesitate. We are here.
Yeah, we're around. So anybody has questions, we're around.